What's up, folks? It's your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to be doing a Raw recap. We opened up with Miz TV and a recap of the B Team and Shane McMahon attacking The Miz. The Miz talks about his steel cage match at Money in the Bank and then introduces his guest, Roman Reigns. He comes out. Reigns starts talking about Elias. The Miz starts talking about a buddy comedy with Roman Reigns. Okay. We then have another recap of Roman Reigns' match last week. The Miz starts talking about the steel cage match again. Then Shane McMahon comes out. He says that Miz TV is over. And then Elias and Bobby Lashley attack Roman Reigns and The Miz from behind. Then guess what? Shane McMahon makes a tag team match, playa. Roman Reigns and The Miz versus Bobby Lashley and Elias. Oh boy. This is actually a wonderful match. 5 stars. Shane McMahon gets involved many times, one of them causing a disqualification. After the match, Lashley, Elias, and Shane continue the beatdown on The Miz and Reigns. The Miz comes in with a steel chair, cleans house, and Shane bolts. An awesome opening to tonight's Raw. After a build-up video package and a recap of the AJ Styles Seth Rollins match, we have another recap of Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman in the dumpster bit last week. Shane McMahon and Sami Zayn have Braun Strowman come into the office, and later we're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match with Strowman and Zayn, with Strowman's spot at Money in the Bank up for grabs. We then have Apollo Crews versus Mojo Rawley. Early in the match, Apollo tweaks his knee, Mojo takes advantage, hits him with an Alabama slam, and gets the pin. Filler match. Backstage, apparently Nikki Cross is going to be replacing Alexa Bliss in a Fatal 4-Way later tonight. We then have the contract signing with Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Lacey Evans. Everybody gets their digs into each other. The crowd is having absolutely nothing to do with Lacey Evans or Charlotte Flair. They sign the contract, they start fighting, and Evans and Flair powerbomb Becky Lynch through the table. They then stand tall, holding up their respective championship belts. We then have Ricochet versus Baron Corbin. This is surprisingly an okay match. Ricochet was doing a lot of high flying, but Corbin stopped him with an end of days and got the pin. After the match, Baron Corbin grabs a ladder. He starts climbing it, but Ricochet pushes the ladder over, sending Baron Corbin tumbling out of the ring. Backstage, we have an interview with AJ Styles. He's talking about his Money in the Bank match against Seth Rollins. We then have the aforementioned Fatal 4-Way. Naomi, Dana Brooke, Natalya, and Nikki Cross, like I said, replacing Alexa Bliss. Bliss is over at the announcer's table. This would actually be a better match if the announcers would just shut the fuck up. Nikki Cross won it with a swinging neckbreaker on Natalya. After the match, Alexa Bliss sets up a ladder, climbs up, and grabs a Money in the Bank briefcase. This is basically guaranteeing that she's not going to be winning this Sunday. We then have Cesaro versus Rey Mysterio. This is an M match. It was kinda okay. Mysterio hit the 619 and the splash to win. We then have a recap of the Revival and the Usos BS that we've had over the past 2 weeks. Then we go to the Revival talking about the Usos being a skid mark in the WWE. Really? I'm done. We then have an episode of the Firefly Funhouse where Bray Wyatt reveals his secret that he's now some creepy looking clown. I am, however, still intrigued on what's going to be happening here. We then have a backstage interview with Seth Rollins. He says he's going to be winning at Money in the Bank. We then have our main event, Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The fight quickly goes outside of the ring, all the way up into the crowd through the concourse. This is where Baron Corbin comes in and attacks Strowman. The fight then goes back out to the ring, into the backstage area, where Drew McIntyre joins in the fight. The fight spills out onto the stage. McIntyre and Corbin rejoin the fight, suplexing Strowman into a ladder. Corbin drags over Zayn, covering Strowman, and McIntyre and Corbin help Zayn get the pin. So Sami Zayn replaces Braun Strowman in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. After the match, Strowman starts to get up, he's pissed, and Baron Corbin throws Sami Zayn out to the stage, where Braun Strowman beats him down and slams him through the announcer's table, ending tonight's Raw. In comparison to last week, it wasn't that bad, but it really could have done a lot of improvement. We had way too many recaps. The matches were decent with the exception of the opener, but as a go-home show for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, it wasn't really all that great. So we'll have to see who the wild cards are tomorrow night on SmackDown, but that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back tomorrow for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought of this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.